Day 3 of brutal winter weather across the Arklatex. The harsh chill has left several dead, at least one in Shreveport.
This morning, tens of thousands still remain without power, waking up to another chilly day inside of their homes. Plus, on top of that, water main breaks, causing a world of problems for homes and businesses.
Live team coverage is on the way. Your first alert winter weather coverage starts now.
From KSLA News 12, this is a First Alert Weather Day.
Oh, you are waking up to a new blanket of snow this morning. Here's a look at the snow falling early this morning just outside of our KSLA studios. Around 2 o'clock this morning, those flurries began. It's going to be another snow day. Stuck at your homes, we hope you are. Don't get out on these roadways. Our meteorologists, they are watching the potential for an ice event as well. Now looking at the snowy and slick roads across northwest Louisiana right now, a portion of Interstate 20 corridor in Shreveport.
In East Texas, we have received several reports from drivers stuck in traffic on I-20 between Hallsville and Shreveport. They tell us they were stuck in traffic for more than 10 hours overnight. Again, we have live team coverage for you this morning. We've also declared today our third straight First Alert Weather Day.
We are live in Texarkana as that winter weather pushes through the Arklatex. Christian Picos and our First Alert meteorologist Jessica Moore, they join us in moments with a look at conditions in the Shreveport-Bossier area. But first, let's begin with meteorologist Andrew Brightman, who's tracking a second wave of storms through our area. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique and Adria. It really is crazy. Just really an epic 4 days here across the Arklatex. Beginning Sunday, we saw a little sleet, freezing rain. Then sleet Sunday night, snow Monday morning, record cold yesterday morning, and now we have another winter storm moving on through. So this is live First Alert Doppler. We got snow in the north. You saw it, Fred Gamble and Texarkana. Conditions are going downhill there. The snow is picking back up along I-30 in Texarkana. The purple here indicating sleet, and then the pink, that is freezing rain. That really is the worst type of winter weather, and we've been watching that all morning here, giving you that first alert down in Mansfield, Pleasant Hill, Martin, Natchitoches, over to Center, Texas, and Shelby County. Very heavy ice has been falling this morning, and just been watching the precipitation rates. It is coming down, and again, seeing maybe some heavy snow in Linden right now. Live First Alert Doppler, again, this is our correlation coefficient. You can see the snow ice line right here. The yellow and green color basically indicating not everything falling from the sky is uniform. Also, as you move away from the radar station, you can look further up in the atmosphere. You can actually see this around Henderson. It's about 4,000 feet up. You can actually see where the snow is melting into the liquid precip and then forming back as sleet as it heads down through the sky towards Shreveport. So just a really interesting little aspect there of our live First Alert Doppler. Temperatures right now, it's cold in Texarkana. Hopefully Fred's staying warm, or it's 18 degrees. 25 in Shreveport, 27 in Natchitoches. So more than cold enough for frozen precipitation this morning. Do not go on the roadways. It is too dangerous. Temperatures below freezing, sleet, freezing rain, snow off to the north. I'm breaking it all down and also talking about why freezing rain is so dangerous with Adria coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thanks. Happening right now, we just learned minutes ago the majority of Bossier Parish is under a boil advisory. That means the order is due to countless ruptures to customers' service lines. It affects a majority of the water system. This includes Bossier's bulk water customers. It also includes the Cypress Black Bayou water system, the town of Benton water system, and the Country Place water system. The entire city of Shreveport also under a boil advisory order.
Yeah, this is after several water main breaks and reduced water pressure led to that citywide boil advisory. Now take a look at these crews right here working on one of the several line breaks across the city. KSLA News 12's Christian Picos is at the intersection of Line and Rutherford, one of the sites of those breaks.
And Christian, do we know how long people could be without water? That's what we're getting a lot of messages this morning. When will the water be turned back on?
Yeah, Dominique, to be honest with you, that is the million-dollar question this morning. It could be hours before water is restored. Take a look at this right here. This is the site of one of those water main breaks here at the intersection of Line Avenue and Rutherford in the Highland neighborhood. You can see a small excavator right there, a part of the road that's been completely uplifted from the ground right there, as well as a number of cones blocking off the water main break. But what's one of the big missing pieces that you see from this site right here? It's a lack of workers, and that's sort of the situation we're seeing right now. Everyone is at a standstill. as we work to assess the situation right now. Again, it could be hours before water is restored. One of the big situations that crews are having to contend with right now is this freezing and icy weather that's going to continue to persist well into the rest of the day. And that's just, unfortunately, the matter of the situation right now is we don't know when water is going to be restored. It's going to take time. And now precipitation, since we've been out here since 4:30 this morning, has only increased. You can see it's gotten much icier because, as Andrew has mentioned, this stuff is beginning to freeze to the ground. We've actually seen a lot of cars come through the area moving way too fast, and I actually want to have my photographer pan over to this little part of the road that you see right there, sort of in the middle of the road between the work site and the street sign right there. That looks like slush. It looks like water, but if you go step on it, that is pure ice. That is dangerous stuff, and that's what you want to look out for this morning if you are, let's say, an emergency worker or a first responder and are on the roads this morning. As we've mentioned the past couple of days, and as we'll continue to mention well into the week, stay home. There is no reason for you to be outside right now. Guys, back to you.
Breaking overnight, we've learned the death toll from this dangerous winter weather has risen to more than a dozen in multiple states. It's according to CBS News.
In Shreveport, a man believed to be homeless was found dead in the downtown area. The Hope House, which has helped with homeless for many years in our area, says that man froze to death on a city bench. Well, let's take a look at conditions in Texarkana this morning, where they are also seeing winter weather push through the Arklatex. There you can see a few people on the roadways there on I-30. This is at the Arkansas-Texas state line. Still very dangerous on the roadways there as well. We also saw some flurries early this morning in other parts of the Arklatex. Our live coverage continues from northwest Louisiana.
First Alert meteorologist Jessica Moore is in Shreveport this morning. And Jess, how's it looking out there?
Well, earlier when I updated you at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, I was seeing freezing rain, and that is just as quickly turning back into sleet. Now those little ice pellets are bouncing back off of my jacket. Now I'm going to turn around the camera at the ground, because as we were seeing powdery snow, because of that freezing rain, it is now a lot harder. So this is very icy instead of powdery like we were seeing earlier. So that's going to be even more dangerous as people do try to get on the roads. So again, don't go if you don't have. Again, it looks like that freezing rain that I was just seeing that fell for about 30 minutes or so has caused the powdery white snow that we saw earlier around 3 o'clock in the morning to become hardened. And even those footprints that I have been just trekking up and down the roadways have turned icy as well. So if more cars continue to go on that snow, it is going to just continue to worsen those traffic conditions. But I'll keep an eye on it. Meteorologist Andrew Brightman will also keep tracking the timing of this out. But so far, looking at sleet pellets for right now. If that changes, though, we'll give you that update. Back to you, Dom and Adrian in the studio. Live from Shreveport, meteorologist Jessica Moore.
Jessica, thank you. Let's take a look now at how many customers are waking up without power in the Arklatex this morning. Right now, less than 2,000 people are in the dark. That's an improvement from the nearly 15,000 we were telling you about yesterday morning. Most of the outages right now, they're in the Shreveport-Bossier area. We did speak with Carrie Sullivan, SWEPCO's Corporate Communications Director, live on Zoom Tuesday about the possibility of more planned power outages. Take a listen.
There is the possibility of some more controlled outages in the next 48 hours, according to the Southwest Power Pool, which is the group that manages the grid across 14 states, including our portion of Louisiana.
For those of you further south, CLECO has suspended all rolling power outages. The utility company says the power shortage is no longer threatening the reliability of the electrical system. Let's talk about East Texas. Road conditions there continue to deteriorate as more snow and ice fall. This is a live look at I-20 right now, where we've learned several drivers were stuck for as much as 10 hours overnight. We spoke to Marshall Fire Chief Reginald Cooper about the slick road conditions in East Texas. He told us he worries things could get worse and even more people could get stranded in their cars.
We had one situation where a lady was stranded, has been stranded since Sunday. Someone went to go get help and they never came back. And so she's been sitting there since then. We thought it was an accident, pulled up and found out, this lady is just about to go in hypothermia.
Oh my goodness. Chief Cooper says they opened a warming center to help people in need. He encourages you to call your local fire department if you need help. All right, it's been a traffic nightmare for many people traveling on Interstate 20 overnight.
It's been difficult to get anywhere, especially with these kinds of conditions. In Bossier Parish and Harrison County, there has been a cluster of traffic hangups due to jackknife vehicles. In the last half hour, we did speak with Renee Blackwell-Gillum, who told us about her experience.
Well, at first we thought it was a minor accident. We didn't see anything, via Facebook or anything like that, so we didn't get word. About hour 3, we started getting word. And so we kind of seen the state troopers come in, but about 5 hours, we had not moved from Kilgore to maybe moved a mile within 3 hours.
Just happy she was able to get home safe, but definitely a harrowing experience there. Coming up after the break, I'm talking more about the freezing rain, why it's so dangerous, and who we're concerned about specifically.
And those traffic conditions are only going to get worse. Take a look there on your screen. You can see those blue flashing lights. That's at I-20 at Industrial Drive right now. Some really difficult driving conditions. In fact, all of our first responders and our law enforcement are encouraging you not to get on the roads. We have an update on what you can expect throughout the rest of the day as far as your weather is concerned in just minutes. It is 6:42.
From KSLA News 12, this is a First Alert Weather Day.
Welcome back. One of our major concerns today is the potential for some ice we are going to be seeing on this second wave of storms. Explain what we could be seeing today.
So one thing, I broke out this graphic many times trying to explain people the difference between freezing rain and sleet. Sleet, obviously, not great. It's icy. But freezing rain, you have that really thick layer. It does not freeze until it comes in contact with something. That's where you get ice accumulation, maybe some power lines, some trees, Adria. And I just want to go over again. Once you get over kind of a 1/4 inch of that ice accumulation, start to see some tree limbs breaking, some power outages become more likely, but really the big line of delineation here, it's over a 1/2 inch of ice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the major things that we're concerned about is how this will impact our potential for losing power, all of those things to go through these freezing temperatures.
And again, once you get over that 1/2 inch of ice, power outages become extremely likely. It accumulates all on the power line. The trees, the tree limbs can take down power lines, and even just the ice itself can bring down power lines, and you can lose power for a prolonged period of time. We actually had the SWEPCO communications director on yesterday. She talked about an ice storm in 2000 where he picked up an inch of freezing rain. Some people were out without power for 2 weeks. It can do more damage than sometimes even a hurricane with winds knocking out power. And you can see here with the ice accumulation, this is freezing rain, Andrea. Really watching Shelby County, DeSoto Parish, parts of Natchitoches Parish. You see this kind of color purple, pink purple color? That's over that 1/2 inch of ice accumulation. That's where we really have to look for those power outages.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. We'll be watching that very closely.
Oh, 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 oh.
Well, it is 6:47. His great-great-grandparents were freed slaves and invested in acres of land in the Arklatex into making a better life for their children. That land is still in the family today.
Dr. Larry High, a Marshall native, says he benefits off of the sacrifices his great-great-grandparents made. And today, he's a professor at California State University, San Bernardino, and an activist for civil rights. In this morning's Black History Moments, he is standing on the shoulders of legends.
Do you believe that the country is progressing in African American or Black history, or do we have a long way to go?
I think we do have a long way to go, but I do think we have come a long way. And I think when I hear folks say that, basically things are still the same. No, they're not. Both of my parents are Jim Crow. They grew up in the Jim Crow South and went to segregated schools. So I'm not even a generation removed from Jim Crow. And so things have definitely changed. And I know I've been able to walk in and occupy spaces that the ancestors long ago never dreamed possible. And so we have come a long way. I mean, this year we got Madam Vice President this year. And that's just an amazing time in the life of our country. But we do have ways to go. I think our current political situation has unearthed some of that, that there are still just underlying, there's underlying systemic racism in our country that needs to be addressed and still needs to be dealt with, but we have come a long way. And every day, I always say, is Black History. We make history 365, and you know, we just celebrated in February, but year-round, folks are making Black history, and folks are excelling and doing great things.
I love that. I love the way he thinks about that. It's not just in the month of February, every single day long.
Yeah, and it's so interesting when we were talking about the land that his ancestors and his family continues to own today, just to know their plight and to know that he benefits, and now they're teaching the younger generation in his family. He says it was never really a point where he didn't think that college, you know, was a part of the future. He grew up knowing that he had to go to college, and he acknowledges that, you know, maybe everyone is not college, you know, bound, but for him and his family, you know, they've gone to college, and it's been a great pathway for him. He is now, you know, doctor of education, and now he says the younger ones know that, you know, you got to go to college.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's great. We'll be right back. It is 6:52. The entire city of Bossier City and Shreveport, they're under boil advisories right now this morning. Some people are without water altogether after several line breaks to a water system.
KSLA News 12's Christian Picos joins us again this morning with when the city expects to have the water running again. Good morning.
Hey, Dominique, good morning to you. Well, it could be hours before water is restored to most residents here in the city of Shreveport. A lot of people right now either seeing very little water pressure or no water pressure at all, largely because of the water main breaks like this one that you see right here. I'm at the intersection of Line Avenue and Rutherford Street in the Highland neighborhood here in Shreveport. You can see a small excavator right there. Part of the street has been uplifted as crews continue their work on it right now. Again, the issue is we just don't know when people are actually going to be able to see water, and the larger problem at hand too, because of these water main breaks, these water boils are going to continue to persist until these water main breaks are fixed. Now, if you've never been under a boil water advisory before, you want to make sure that you boil your water, bring it to a boil rather, and then boil it for 1 additional minute, and then you can drink it. It's just one of the continued issues that we're continuing to see because of this frigid weather. Guys, back to you.
All right, Christian, thanks. Let's check one more time with Andrew on a look at our forecast. A very busy day for you today, Andrew.
Yeah, it's going to be very hectic. Not for me, not just for me, but for First Alert meteorologist Jessica Moore, Grant Roberts, and of course our chief meteorologist Jeff Castle. Now, one final check-in on your forecast. John Harvey Toyota Sky Cam. You can't see it, but we got sleet, freezing rain right now falling here across the central Arklatex. Northwest Louisiana, you can see anywhere from the snow up near Texarkana, and the snow for them is going to start picking up soon. Further off to the South Pleasant Hill, Coshada, Mansfield, Natchitoches, Manny watching the freezing rain, seeing some heavy freezing rain across parts of eastern Texas. This is all moving from southwest to northeast into the viewing area here, and it's going to be coming on down. Again, I love using this tool, the correlation coefficient, usually during severe weather season to find those debris balls, but you can also see right here, notice the blood red color, that means everything is uniform that's falling from the sky. But this little delineation right here, that's the snow off to the north, and then the sleet and freezing rain further off to the south. Actually, as you move further away from the radar station, you go further up in the atmosphere. So here across eastern Texas, where you see more of the orange color, we're actually looking about 4,000 feet up. This is actually the snow melting and becoming liquid and then refreezing as it gets closer to the ground. Just a cool little thing there with our live First Alert Doppler. Area low pressure well off to our south, so we got a long way to go with this precipitation until it clears on out of the Arklatex. Future track rolling here again. You can see it building on in. Sleet, freezing rain all in northwest Louisiana, eastern Texas along I-20. Texarkana, you guys see the snow, potentially a lot of it. I'm going to be watching live First Alert Doppler for you guys. 1 o'clock this afternoon, still coming down to beat the band all across the Arklatex. Maybe though in Natchitoches, around 2 o'clock or so, you guys could get above freezing. Something we'll be watching. Tries to get some snow into Shreveport. We'll see, but the snow more than likely going to be locked up across southwestern Arkansas until it clears on out later on this afternoon and really during the evening hours. Again, snow to the north. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, I-20 corridor, and then ice further off to the south and east. Next 12 hours, cold and wintry in Shreveport, and that is going to be the case for just about everyone except maybe Natchitoches later on this afternoon. First Alert 7-day forecast. It's a First Alert weather day both today and on your Thursday. Still going to be cold on Friday, but things begin the slow march back towards normal.
Oh, we are ready for normal again.
Yes.
Definitely, please. The sooner the better. Make sure that you download our KSLA News 12 First Alert Weather app to stay connected with our weather team and find out what you need to know about this winter weather coming again to the Arklatex.
We have a list of road and school closures for you and daily videos of the forecast and the weather conditions that you can expect to see that day. Also, be sure to go to KSLA.com to find out more information on how you can stay safe during this winter weather and expected power outages.
We do know that a bunch of people right now, it's the Shreveport, Bossier, they have boil advisories for their water. So you need to make sure that you use either bottled water or heat up your water for at least 1 minute before using it. That's definitely very important. We will have another update coming your way on KSLA News 12 at 9.
Be careful out there if you have to get out of this.